right. Take a deep breath, put your feet on the floor. This will sort of land, be a bit more here, and maybe sort of wave to the other people on the screen. It's nice to see people on the screen who are here. We can sort of co-regulate a little bit with the other humans, even on Zoom. So it's nice to not be like passively watching TV. So welcome to our free little summit. Dr. Helen is going to be teaching today, who I'll introduce in a minute. Virginia, what things do people need to know?
Okay, so this is the first of a 3-day event. This is the first talk. We've got 2 talks each day. Do be comfortable, do move, get up of your chair if you need to. Do make sure you're in a space where you can follow the event and not be interrupted. And this is what's coming up. So we have quick practices for dysregulated nervous with Helen, who we're going to introduce shortly. And then later on today at 3 p.m. UK time, Mark here is going to talk about trauma-informed coaching, about safety, about scope, and also maybe possibly do a live demo if that would be nice to get someone some free coaching. And then we've got lots of good stuff around finances, how to heal the nervous system, boundaries, fees for coaches, how to overcome money shame. I know that's a big one for lots of us working in the field. So thank you for coming, and do tell a friend. This is a free event. Please share with a friend who will thank you for letting them know about it. There will be free replays, but it's always nice to join live, and then you can unpack it with your friends and get more out of it.
Yeah, no, super appreciated, Virginia. I mean, obviously we do these. One, this is a good thing to do. Seems like everybody's a bit dysregulated and burnt out and crazy right now. I don't think we've ever really recovered as a culture, really, since COVID, that people are dysregulated. So I think it's just a helpful thing to put out there. Secondly, full transparency. We sell coaching courses. We have a membership for facilitators. We also have very good training for trainers and coaches. So it really helps us too. So just have a think right now. Who do you know that's a bit frazzled, that might appreciate this? Or maybe they're a facilitator or a coach or a yoga teacher working with frazzled people. Do you just send them that link? That would be a nice thank you to us, if you don't mind. And they probably appreciate it too. This is how we sort of put the word out about what we do. So much appreciated. Okay. You doing all right? How you doing? Doing all right? Doing okay? It's nice to see you. Some familiar faces and some new ones. Good, welcome. Okay, so today, Dr. Helen. Helen was a psychiatrist, so she is a trained medical doctor. She has an extensive background in yoga. Her and I run the Facilitators Flourishing together. She is yin to my yang. She's the nice mum to my strict dad. Between us, it works really well. The facilitators like it. Has done a lot of work with burnout, with nervous system recovery. I think teaches, for example, polyvagal theory better than anyone else in the world. She's my colleague for a reason. When I first saw her teaching that content about nervous system well-being, rather than sort of trying to impress people with long words about parts of the brain, which it was actually really practical and really useful. She knows all the neuroscience stuff too, but it was just really practical, really useful. And I like working with her a lot. So Dr. Helen, over to you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. And as Mark just said, how are you doing? How are you doing right now? Have a little check-in with yourself. Notice what's going on in your body. Mark said, send this to someone you know that's frazzled. Who is frazzled? Who's been frazzled at some point in the last 24 hours? You can put your hand up. Who's never been frazzled in their lives? Frazzled meaning, even if that's only on the inside, right? Who knows somebody who is frazzled some of the time? Anybody know? Nobody, no one. You live in a monastery with monks. I bet even monks get frazzled, actually. They just might not show it. So this session is about the science of a dysregulated nervous system and quick practices. Now, I don't know about you, but my Facebook algorithm, my social media algorithm is forever showing me, if only I'd known this one practice that will completely fix my dysregulated nervous system. And the truth is, as a very wise person called Mark Walsh told me, nothing Nothing works for everybody all of the time. Nothing works for everybody all of the time, which is why it's really good to understand that practices you can develop to have a range of them. You can have a choice of them. You can develop a chocolate box of practices that you can pick from. But the quick practices don't actually solve the deeper issues, the ongoing patterns. That's why you need to come and train with us. That's why you need to come and do KEC or join the membership to get deeper patterns sorted. But we can still look at the little practices. What is a dysregulated nervous system? What does that mean to you? And sorry if you're on the recording and you can't see this, but I'm going to ask the Zoom room, show the other members of the Zoom room what a dysregulated nervous system looks like. Be gentle with yourself, right? Don't go full dysregulation, but give us a hint. What does it look like? We're back in charades. That's a thing where you have to act it out. Show us what it looks like. We've got this. You're all looking very calm at the moment. There's nobody going, oh, right, yeah, we've got this, we've got a bit of arms up, there's movement, there's a bit of jerkiness going on. Yeah, oh, that's good. I like that, Emily. Oh, bit of that. Let me just have a quick look through the screens because there's a few screens. Oh, yeah. What about you in screen 2 and 3? Yes, beautiful. Oh, and some sobbing. Jackie's doing some sobbing. You can come back. Forget that. Shake it off. Ooh. Quick, take a look on gallery view at the lovely faces and share a smile with someone. There is your first quick practice for a dysregulated nervous system. It's people. It's co-regulation. It's sharing a smile. It's sharing a touch. It's having a memory of someone. Past or present, pet. Don't know if you can see the dog in the corner of the sofa. You probably can't. Pet or person. That connection is really important for bringing you back a little bit out of dysregulation. So what do we mean? Right, we're not going to go into full polyvagal theory today because, as Virginia said to me, Helen, you can't do that in this space of time, even if you want to. It's not possible. You have to come and train with us to do that. But you can also look on our YouTube channel, on the Embodiment Unlimited YouTube channel. We have a video on there as well. But in general, the nervous system, you have ventral vagal, calm and connected, and a bit of play on top of that. That's another story. And then under that, you've got sympathetic. Now, not all sympathetic is bad, but sympathetic also brings you dysregulation, fight and flight. Fight, run, flee, whatever. So you've got ventral vagal, calm and connected, sympathetic, fight and flight. This is in survival. It's good as well. And down at the bottom, you've got dorsal vagal. And that is like this. Yeah. It's the shutdown and disconnection. So dysregulation. So I like that word, but it's a big word. Dysregulation. It sounds like a very technical word. Dysregulation means not in ventral vagal, not in that calm connected place. And dysregulation is normal. Nobody lives permanently in a calm state of ventral vagal, unless maybe you're, I don't know, a hippie in a field. Oh, it's beautiful. Which I have been at times, a hippie in a field. Or the monk in the monastery, or, you know, something's not quite right because actually it's the wrong place to be. You wouldn't get anything done. And you can't play there. You need a bit of sympathetic to play, to dance, to laugh. So why is this focus on dysregulation? Well, we get stuck in it. Anybody here got a touch of overwhelm, trauma, burnout, health challenges, stress? Yeah, any of those things? Yeah. And so if you have any of those things, yeah, life, exactly, Anna, life adds stressors. Life adds stress, and that's normal. And you dip into a bit of dysregulation with stress. The problem is when you get a foot stuck there, or your body stuck there, or you're up to your neck in dysregulation. And it's not a very comfortable place to be. So what do we want? We want practices to help. Okay. I went for the 5 practices model, 5 of various things, but the number 1 is all on its own. It's the co-regulation. If you take one thing away from this today, remember it's the co-regulation, it's the others. And Julia has a little baby, a little toddler on her knee, and look at Julie and her toddler, if Julie's allowing us to do that, she's got a camera on, and the joy that it brings to see the smiley toddler face. Yeah. But you also get that warmth, that joy, that connection from seeing other people and from seeing people smile. So that's the number 1. It's not always possible. You haven't always got a toddler on your knee, or a partner in the other room, or a dog on the sofa. And you've got the memories of them, etc. You've got the thoughts of them. But let's think about some of the quick win practices. Okay. Number 1, 5 regulating breaths. Okay, the first one is a sigh. Take a breath in and sigh it out. Can you feel that rise, that lengthening, and that releasing? The physiological sigh, which is a step on from that, is a double breath in. The warning with the sigh, don't make the in-breath too harsh, too long, too held. You don't want to hold it. Take a breath in and let it go. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, the extended exhale. Go with me on this. Take a breath in for the count of 2. And breathe out for the count of 4. Notice what happens in your body. Now, if you don't like that, if you don't like any of that and it doesn't work, shake it off and get rid of it. But come back and try it. Maybe breathe in for 1 and out for 2. Breathe in for 2 and out for 4. Breathe in for 3 and out for 6. Number 3 in breath. Who's heard of the VU breath? Okay, you can all do it. Don't worry, Lorraine, I'm going to tell you how to do it. You can all do it. Nobody can hear you. You can only hear me. Well, you might have someone can hear you, but they can join in. VU. Oh, and can you feel that vibration? That vibration's like a soothing massage. I have my theories about the VU breath for various different things. From a neuroscientific point of view, it's extending your exhale. There's also a vibration close to the vagus nerve that brings us rest and digest. And there's also the sound itself, and you can increase it if you close your ears. Your hands on your ears. Number 4, very similar, bumblebee breath. Well, actually, it's called bee breath, but I started calling it bumblebee breath in yoga years ago, and it just won't go away. And when I taught children's yoga, we used bumblebee breath. So very similar, but you're humming. Fingers in your ears. Come on, people. And let out a hum. Zoom's just asked me if I'm playing music. I'm really not that good at singing. Okay, sigh, extended exhale, VU breath, bumblebee. The last breath, well, it's not really a breath, it's a reflex. A yawn. But it does something to your breath. Now, as I invite that, I see it happen. Do you know it's the only infectious reflex? It's the only reflex that you can mention or do, and other people do it as well. And it brings a release, it brings a calm, it heightens the in-breath, and then it lets out the out-breath, as well as doing some regulation of pressures in your ear. Okay, get rid of that. Let's do some movements. You can stand up if you choose. Now, you could bring to mind something that's a little bit stressful. Now, the reason to do that is to see how effective it is. But please be careful, be gentle with yourself. You are adults. Bring to mind something stressful, like, for example, me thinking, is the postman going to bang on the door and ring the doorbell while I'm doing this? And I've used that before because he's always doing it unless I stick a note on the door begging that he doesn't. So bring something to mind that's just a little bit stressful and notice the shift in your body. It might bring that little bit of extra sympathetic nervous system activity. And then let's look at 5 movements. There's loads of movements, but we're picking 5. Try shoulder rolls. Up, down and back. Up, down and back. Notice what that does. Or that'll do as number 2, a little bit of a shimmy, a little bit of a shimmy, a little bit of a shake. Because when you get stressed and dysregulated, what do? You tense. Or you might tense, or you might flop. But a little bit of a shimmy, a little bit of a shake. Number 2. And number 3 happened then all on its own, and we've used it once already. Have a shake. Shake it off. Shake off through your hands. It can be simple, just your hands, but it might be through your whole body. Shake it off. Okay, you're probably all nice and relaxed now, so bring back that slight stressor. Bring it to mind. And have a twist and a swing. Even better if you can do full twirl in the trees, which is my favorite thing. Full twirl in the trees in nature, even better. In fact, nature all on its own is another huge one. Last one of the movements, which combines breath as well. Breath of joy. My version of breath of joy. So you may know of breath of joy from yoga, which is quite an activating breath because it's 3 big inhales. So for sensitive nervous systems, some of you have done this with me before. Take a breath in, arms up. Take a breath out, arms down. Take a breath in, arms wide. Take a breath out, arms back. Take a breath in, arms up. Soften your knees, hinge at the hips and whoosh. That is my favorite movement one. And actually, it's a really good one. Any of these are really good to develop, not just into a quick fix, but as a practice. If you do breath of joy every morning, every lunchtime, and every evening, you might find a bit of a shift in the frazzledness. Okay, we did 5 breaths. We did 5 movements. Checking the time, checking Virginia's face. We're doing all right. Sensory things. Luck would have it, there's 5 main senses. Who knew? Okay, so in a slightly stressed state, the orientation means that you tend to lose where you are. You tend to lose the present moment. You tend to go off somewhere into your head. So bringing awareness back to through the 5 senses to here and now. Have a look around and name in your mind or out loud 5 things that you can see. You don't have to get into the story of them, but 5 things in your room, in your space. Good. And then see if you can notice 4 things that you can touch. You can read, doesn't matter what they are. It can be a pen. Notice the sensation through touch, a hair clip. 4 things through touch. Might be your clothing. Might be your own hair. 3 things that you can hear. I've got a clock ticking. There's a hum, and there's a dog snuffling. 2 things that you can smell. Maybe you can smell your own skin or a scented candle nearby, some perfume. And then 1 thing that you can taste, and it might be the taste of your own mouth, or you could take a drink. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And then let that go. Oops. Okay. Last of the 5s. First, bring to mind something that makes you a little bit stressed, a little bit leaning into dysregulation. Forget the postman. I think we're all right. Maybe the dog will go, no, she doesn't look like she's going to bark, but something that will bring you a little bit of extra stress. And bring to mind, this is using a bit of mind, but noticing how it is in your body. 5 things that you can use that are like glimmers and gratitude. Glimmers, linking to polyvagal theory, are things that make you go, so events that happen that you bank in memory. So it might be when you looked at the lunar eclipse, if it wasn't hidden behind clouds like it was here, and you went, and you can remember that and you can notice what that did in your body. For me, I had to wake up the next morning and look through the window and see the full moon because the eclipse was completely hidden. Something that brings a smile, like Julia with her little tot on her knee. Oh, or it might be your dog lying comfy on the sofa. Or it might be a special parcel that came through the post. Oh, a gift. Or the first day that Virginia and I met when we were in London this year, and we'd been working together all this time, and suddenly that moment will stay in my mind. A place. It might be a tree, somewhere in nature. It might be the top of a mountain. I have a memory of, on my first honeymoon, being at the top of Mount Sinai on a camel and watching the sunrise. Notice what the memory, the thought, it's not just the memory, it's what it does in your body, what it does in your nervous system. And one other thing that brings you joy, laughter, running around the garden, sitting giggling with a friend, cooking something you love. Listen, I'm not judging. Everybody finds joy in different things. Even I like cooking sometimes. And then notice how that is in your body. Okay, let's go back to what dysregulation means. What is dysregulation for you? You can drop it in the chat. What does dysregulation mean for you? I don't mean trapped there forever, but little bits when you get stuck, when you get dysregulated, when you get activated. What does that mean for you? Let's have a quick check, see what the words are. Lack of control. Head is rushing, tightening in the chest, helpless, no movement. Yeah. Stuck in the thoughts, tension, holding breath. Yeah. Lack of agency, overwhelm. Yeah. Feeling threat. So there's your answers as to why to do these practices. You also need to practice things when you don't need them to use them when you do need them. So there's so much dysregulation in the chat. And how does it feel? Dysregulation, how would you move with dysregulation? What does it look like? Oh yeah, no gusto. So it might be the opposite, it might be the flop, it might be the panic, the fight and flight, it might be the disconnection. And then pick a practice from that list. A regulating breath. Maybe add in a hug. A movement. Roll your shoulders. Or do a quick breath of joy. Move through your senses. Things you can see, hear, touch, smell, taste. and bringing to mind those glimmers, those gratitudes, those memory that fizz through your system. Okay. Oh my goodness, there's 15 more comments in the chat. What list? I've come late. What list? I'm really sorry. You can catch the replay and go through the list. What is one practice that resonated with you? One practice that you can take? Or one from each, one breath, one movement, but one practice. Breathing, yeah. Movement, shake it off, VU breath, moving the body, rolling the shoulders, bee breath, bumblebee, don't forget the bumble, yawning, movement, breath, twirling the trees, absolutely. For those that don't know, I've got a passion for twirling in the trees. It is a practice for me, not least because I've got vertigo and I'm spinning. Senses, breathing, movement, butterfly tapping, yeah. You see, we could go on. This is just the beginning. This is just a taster. This is just the start. VU breath, sighing, being in nature, move and twirl. Yeah, nature is huge. I've recently got nature brought into the house. I will kill them, but not intentionally. I'm not like that, but I'm not very good with plants. My husband is responsible for the plants that he's brought into the house. Dance, sigh, bee breath. Yeah. Think of my granddaughter, pure joy. Because it isn't all what you can see. It's there as well. Okay. Regulating breaths. This is just what we've done today. Movements, shoulder rolls, shake the hands, sway, twist, breath of joy, sensory anchors, glimmers, and gratitude. Imagining a dance with your suit of armor. Yeah, he's ready, he's waiting. Any questions that you have, please drop them in the chat. Mark's appeared back on the screen. Are you wanting to add anything, Mark?
I just thought go back and forwards for a minute. Just lovely to see all your grab bag of tools, Helen. And I agree with you completely that it's like practicing them is the key, right? Practicing them regularly. Often people are like, give me the one intellectual thing that I learn and then I'm fixed. Like, no, the world's in kind of a state and, you know, we may lack community, we may lack ecological connection. I'll talk through that model in a later session about the different kinds of connection. There's no cure-alls, but I think we wanted to start with something just really useful, like a bag of useful tools people can use. So hopefully everyone's taking away at least one good one.
Brilliant, thank you. And Virginia? I think we're...
The training aspect, we do run a course. It's a 6-month course. You still have time to squeeze in through the door because it's starting next week. And there are 11 places left to save $1,000 on it. So there's the code for the $1,000 discount. 11 places still free for it. So grab it if you want. I'm pasting the links in the chat for you. And it's a course where you do get to train and you do get to build habits on these and more techniques around the nervous system. You can use them for yourself. You can use them with clients if you're a coach or a facilitator or a therapist. It's really effective tools that.
Virginia, you didn't put the link in the chat. Sorry to interrupt, but you put the code, but not the link. So stick the link in so people know where to go. That's it. Yeah. So that's our main course. We've also got something more on the sort of well-being side for facilitators, a sort of little club for facilitators. So message Virginia or email if you want to be find out about that. We're just putting the finishing tweaks to the website. So send her your email if you're more interested in that. I will be back later on today talking about coaching. We have any coaches here? Okay, facilitators, trainers. Yeah, it'd be useful if you're doing other stuff too. So yeah, a bit of sort of trauma informed. What are some of the things I think about as a trainer, as a coach, so I don't, do harm? And what have I learned as well, looking at a whole load of war zones and working with trauma for like 15, 20 years that I think is really important for any of us who work with people. You'll probably pick up some tips. So that's later on today. Good. Are we doing Q&A, Virginia, or are we, what's the timings?
Yes, we have 15 minutes for people to ask their questions to Helen. Please type it in the chat. The next session, a lot of you are asking, it's at 3 p.m. UK time. So 3 p.m. UK time, translate that in your own time zone.
4 p.m. CET. Yeah, got it. Check it. I've got it in my diary.
Where do we find the link for the sessions later today? It's the same link, isn't it?
It is. And if you've signed up and you're signed up because you're clearly here, it would have been sent in an email to you as well, but it's the same link of this meeting now.
Yeah. Some lovely comments. Nice regulated start to the day. Absolutely. That's what we try and do. And see you at 3. People are leaving. That's good. Any questions at all? Just drop them in the chat. Have you written any books? Do you have any books written? See, my brain wouldn't translate the words. Mark has several written books, actually. Perhaps we could. In a former life, I was part of a book, but that was part of psychiatry. I haven't written any books in relation to embodiment, yoga practices, things like that. No.
But there is a vast book list. If you Google Mark Walsh books, a lot will come out. Helen, there's a question tailor-made for you in the chat by.
Oh, let me have a look. First of all, have you tried this with young people and children in groups? Well, I have. I've done work with children. My background in mental health was originally in child and adolescent psychiatry and in learning disabilities psychiatry, now called intellectual disability psychiatry, and ultimately in neurodevelopmental challenges, neurodiversity. So yes, even though I didn't know what I was doing, yes, we were doing some of that at the time, and the team was doing some of that work at the time around nervous system regulation. I understand more now what I was doing some of then. And yes, I've done work with children as well through yoga like this. And some of the tools that I use for adults, I learned through working with children and through my training with children. So yes. People think, I think you need to understand both and why one is relevant for another. But like the version of Breath of Joy I use is so much more gentle for a sensitive nervous system. And so that's why I prefer it. Was that the question, Virginia, or was there another one? Oh, hang on, there's another question.
Again, you will see it at the bottom.
What do you do already in the midst of severe burnout, and how does one recover? I can tell you my experience of that. If you haven't heard the podcast with Mark and me, with me talking about lying on the prison floor because of burnout, overwhelm, illness, etc. And what I would say is the journey is one that needs a lot of self-compassion and a lot of self-care and a lot of patience. And I do some work with people with quite severe health challenges. And what we talk about a lot is not just baby steps, but fairy steps. And by that, I mean taking the smallest of steps, taking the expectations of how you should shift and change here and now and improve, and stretch it out and slow it down. And taking a whole you approach. And actually, Mark's talk looking at the tetrarchy model will be really helpful for that as well, because it's not one thing, one practice will not do it. It's an entire approach to lifestyle. The problem is with burnout, for most of us, you don't notice until it's too late. Everybody gets a bit burnt out, and some of us, and I do include myself in that, crash and burn. And when you crash and burn, it's a long road back. If any questions, please do drop them in the chat, just so that we can keep a track of them. I hope that helps answer a bit. Sorry, Virginia.
Just a clarification, when Helen said she was collapsed on the prison floor, she was not in prison. She was a psychiatrist.
I was in the prison.
Justice system. She was
no judgment. No judgment, Virginia. Someone might have been.
No judgment. I just needed to put that out there because I don't want people getting the wrong idea.
Okay.
You literally end up in prison because of judgment. Like that is literally how that happens. So yeah. Helen did. We were just saying, Helen, other than murdering plants, that's our only crime we know of.
Right.
Do you want me to read it out to you?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So do you speak to someone in very dysregulated state in very direct language, like take a breath now, or more calmly? Or how would you address someone in a very, very dysregulated state? How do you speak?
Okay, so that's like a big question because it depends on who you are, who they are, what the circumstances are, what the environment is, what the relationship is. You know, if it was my children are adults now, but if it was my young child in a very dysregulated state, which happens frequently with young children, I would be very calm, stand back and wait, right? And space is always a good idea, but it really depends on the circumstances. I think if that's about a therapeutic or a coaching question, it needs a much bigger look into what's there. I know that doesn't help at all. Take a pause, take a breath, model it, model calm if you can.
I like that you said that, because it goes back to your nervous system being the regulating factor of the one that they can then grab onto and get
Yeah,
influenced,
yeah.
as opposed to the other way around.
That's important, actually, Virginia, that your nervous system, our nervous system influences other people. You can't have a row with someone who doesn't want to have a row. You can't have a screaming match with someone who doesn't want to have a screaming match. Because if you stop, there's nowhere to go. So, I mean, people will carry on sometimes, but you can, in some situations, bring calm by being calm. Doesn't always work, of course. It depends on the situation.
Got some gratitude there, saying thank you. I appreciate the practices you've shared to help us ground and return to a pleasant, calm state. And the question is, do you have any suggestions for making space for the less pleasant but warranted emotions that are usually considered bad or negative in a time of polycrisis?
Yeah, I mean, none of them are bad, right? They're all human. It's about context, where they can be released. Something like breath of joy allows release. Something like stamping around the garden or shouting outside or, you know, into a pillow or something, that can be helpful. It just depends. But you can't bury them. It's like burying the sensations of awareness. If you have severe pain and you try and bury it, it will emerge. If you have these emotions, they will emerge. So having a bit of compassion, getting to know them, befriending them a little bit, and finding spaces to express that are safe enough.
Yeah, if people don't know what the polycrisis is, it's when you're polyamorous and you have 5 different lovers who are all arguing about whose turn it is with the chocolate spread. No, it's not that. The polycrisis is this idea that in the world today we have many, many crises, like meaning crisis, and ecological crisis, and crisis kicking off. So if people are new to that term.
I was really worried for a moment that I got it wrong, but then I realized you were being new.
It can be that under circumstances, I suppose. But back to the seriousness of the sessions, someone is saying they will think about which practices to use in meetings to stay regulated without drawing attention to us.
Oh, nice. I'll give you one that comes from Embodied Toolkit, which is a hug, right? Don't get, I know you can't do this in the meeting, but we're getting there. Go with me. The hug. The smaller version is a hand on heart, hand on belly. You still can't do that in a meeting. The hand squeeze. The hand squeeze under the table or under the camera view is a precious practice, because you can embrace, you can link it to the other practices of regulation that you do by practicing it at the same time or following it, and then take the hand squeeze into your meeting. Question there, show us breath of joy. That's a good one to do. I have to move the dog steps. Breath of joy. Breathing in, take the hands up. Breathing out, take them down. Breathing in, open wide. Breathing out, take them back. Breathing in, take them up. Soften the knees, hinge at the hips and whoosh. It's the whoosh. The magic is in the whoosh. Can't see you without my glasses. Hope that helped.
And I think you'll have an interesting comment on this feedback. Someone saying, I'm on the road back from burnout and I'm trying to energize and mobilize each day. And that can be a constant challenge. So I keep thawing and freezing. So having a mix of all these practices is so, so useful.
Yeah, and like breath of joy has a mixture within it. Because what we often talk about is centering practices that can bring you up if you're down and down if you're up. And breath of joy, when you take the arms up on the in-breath, you are releasing a bit of extra sympathetic activity, but balancing it with the out-breath. Bringing sympathetic, a little bit of extra. You're not pushing sympathetic, balancing it. Bit of sympathetic and then whoosh, let it go. Yeah. Any other questions, Virginia? I think
A lot of gratitude, a lot of people saying thank you and listing what they got out of it. So all of you who really, really enjoyed it, and it seems a lot of you, if not all did, please share it with a friend. Let's spread the word. It's a free event. They can come in for free. It's amazing tools that do work. So share the link with a friend, get more people into these wonderful tools.
Thanks, Virginia. Thanks, everyone. Should do a mass unmute so people can say goodbye.
Yeah, absolutely. Say goodbye in your own language, goodbye, or thank you, or anything else you like. There you go.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.